Welcome to Power Lunch Live, special edition on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the reason why we are on the program tonight is we are making a big push today with for the organization Keep Small Strong. You've got the right down below here, you've got the website. Please visit it, find out how you can get involved. We're going to explain it all tonight in the next hour. We've got people who have benefited from the program in the last month. We've got the people who put it together. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about how we can save small business. On the Power Lunch, we normally have top CEOs, best-selling authors, people who are doing amazing work in the world. Tonight, we've got people who are doing amazing work in the world to help us save the businesses that are really, really important to us. You know, one of the things I've realized by being involved in this program is that the small businesses that we make our own. We call our corner bakery, our corner coffee shop, my barber, my pizza place, and we call it our own because we look at it as such. And so in the sort of the where we are today, we should all be doing something to take care of those businesses that so often take care of us. And I've got Adam Gross with me. Adam, you got this movement started. You saw a need and you did something about it. Tell us about Keep Small Strong and why you did it, why it was important, and what you're doing to help keep small businesses vital in this sort of really crazy, weird time that we're in.
Absolutely. Happy to share, and thank you so much for joining and helping the initiative in general and featuring us here today. Honored to be part of your program and super excited about everything going on. So Keep Small Strong is an initiative that started just a couple of weeks back, actually, in the midst of all the craziness going on with the COVID crisis. I was on Instagram. I saw one of my favorite small businesses down in Miami, an amazing bakery, the Artisan Creative Bakery down in Miami, had put out a post mentioning they were doing everything they can to stay in business. They were still open, encouraging the community to come by and continue to visit the store. That they were worried. They were worried about keeping the doors open, the future of the business and their employees. I sent them a note saying, hey, I've been working in and around the e-commerce space for 20 years. Don't know if you've ever thought about selling online, but I'd be glad to help. And I left that call both interested in helping them, and then my mind started spinning that for every business I know of or 10 businesses that I know of, my local X, my local Y, my local Z, there's another 100,000, 10,000 that all of us collectively as Americans need to step up and help save. So I picked up the phone, started calling around to some former colleagues, former competitors, a bunch of folks that I knew. And in 24 hours, we had almost 25 people involved who just wanted to step in, put down their competitive gloves and offer up some free help to small businesses. We had 50 people involved, and we're now 3 weeks in. We've had a number of businesses we've helped already, including some that we're going to talk about today. And it's been incredible. What a wild ride, and just trying to do what we can as an inspired group of individuals to help make a difference.
So, what's the focus? What are the key things that you guys can help a small business do?
Sure. So, in general, anybody can take a look at keepsmallstrong.org to learn a little bit about, as a business, what help we can offer. If I want to get some help for a business I know of that perhaps doesn't have time to pick up their head and ask, or if I'm an individual and want to get involved. But for the businesses themselves, we are essentially offering up free help to them to get their business online, set up e-commerce capabilities. If you're a brick and mortar store and used to foot traffic, clearly that's not your friend right now. Right. Helping these people set up the ability to sell online for free. We've also got some great platform partners that have offered up their technology in there, setting up local delivery, national distribution and fulfillment, helping get the word out for these businesses that they're still open and they need our help as Americans to support them. And, that's through, digital marketing and through social media and otherwise. So just trying to find more businesses that could use the help. The funniest part about this is I've spoken to a good handful of businesses, and we heard from some this morning. They've just been so shocked. There's so many people out there offering help, the government included, and it seems like there's something great there. And then as you dig in, it either slips through your grasps or it's not actually free. So the fact that we're offering real help for free, no strings attached, has been incredible. And, we're just looking to get the word out to more small businesses that we're here to help.
Yeah, the small loan program is not really for small business, is it? What is so talk about a little bit about how, and I want to bring in Arlena in just a second, but talk about briefly how you put together this group of competitors and people in the industry who and talk about that a little bit and how that all came together. And then I want to know too, who's involved, some of the corporations and some of the individuals that are involved that really deserve a shout out. And we'll come back a little later when we close out and talk about how you can get involved, what kind of people you're looking for on the technical side to help. And then we'll talk about how the small businesses can get involved with our businesses that have been beneficiaries so far. But talk about how you put the team together.
Sure. Mostly by picking up the phone and calling a ton of old friends in familiar and high places. So we've got everything from just individual passionate people who saw a broadcast or the spot that was in Thrive Global or Forbes or ABC News and said, I want to be part of that, to several 100,000 person organizations, like Capgemini. We've got some mid-size agencies involved in here, Astound, Pixel Media, Taos Digital, the folks from Live Area and PFS, team from Envoy. It's been a collective of both a bunch of brands that big and small, and then there's equally a whole bunch of pretty large companies involved who are still going through their corporate PR departments and using their logos, but a ton of really inspired individuals from some amazing organizations, big and small, just stepping up to help make a difference.
That's fantastic. And when you're working out deals with people with companies like UPS and Spotify, it sounds like it's really kind of coming together as a kind of a collective effort, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, we've had folks from Shopify step up to offer to small businesses use of their platform for free for a number of months as we're getting this stuff online. We've had great support from UPS and offering up discounted shipping rates, support from Google and Facebook and offering up free advertising. We've got Algolia offering up their product to support search in our marketplace. We've got Zendesk offering up their platform behind the scenes to help triage and route and actually respond to all these businesses. And it's just been incredible to see the outpouring on both the technology platform side as well as the business, the service businesses on the agency and technology side stepping up.
Well, I'm going to bring Arlena in if you don't mind.
That would be amazing.
Arlena, how are you doing?
Good, fantastic. I'm so happy to be here tonight and share a piece of my great adventure. Thanks to Adam.
I tell you what, I was reading about your bakery, and I'm like sitting here starving, and because I have a soft spot for good baked goods. I'll just put it that way, as you can probably tell. This is incredible. So you reached out on social media. Adam responded. How did that make you feel that somebody was really willing to come to your aid and come to you and help you figure out a new way to do business?
That was it was really shocking because at that point we were just making our 2 years anniversary, and I remember I was sitting on the couch with my husband and I was like, I can't believe that after pushing so hard through these hard times now, this is it? Is it over? Is it really over? So I was just browsing on my Instagram, and then I see Adam's message. I'm like, wow, this can't be possible. And he said, listen, this is no fee. I'm not offering you anything. You don't need to pay anything. I just really want to help. And I look at my husband, and I'm in tears, and I'm like, let's see, maybe we can make it happen after all. So next day we talk over the phone, and he said, I have a group of friends that maybe we are able to help you get through, and I think that is going to be that we're gonna make it happen. So then they connect me with the Retail Connect people, and in a matter of days we were pre-selling. We opened a pre-sale online, and the orders started just to pour over. At some point we were, oh my goodness, I thought that maybe 5 or 10 just to check and then see how people responded, but we had like 300 orders coming through Shopify, and we were honestly amazed. I was able to call my team back. I'm able to wear my jacket again. I'm able to put these hands to work again. And I feel so blessed because people care enough to help us get through, to help the small to get through this situation, because this is not only affecting the health of our world, but it's also affecting families, and emotionally it's also it's making an impact. So
was this a kind of, were you online at all? Were you selling online at all?
We would try to sell like online, but only for local deliveries. So to make local deliveries and pickup. So we were doing the deliveries ourselves. That lasts like 3 days only, because we didn't have the know-how. We kind of put together a website on Shopify, but we didn't make it happen. It was too much for us to handle, and we couldn't until Adam.
I'm going to ask you a serious question. So when this all is over and it goes back to some normal, you're going to quit Shopify, right? You're not going to do that. You're not going to continue doing that.
No, we will, of course. We'll continue. Now we're thriving, which is amazing to say that, being a small business, and we're thriving through online sales, and we're actually hiring people.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. Actually now I had to hire a manager. I had to hire more people in the kitchen. I called my front of the house girls, and they're starting on Monday. So from closed to actually having a group of people working and bringing food to their house, it's unbelievable. I mean, the reach of this movement, it's so huge. It's not only because, that small business is now open, it's all the families that you are affecting in a positive way.
Now, was your business really sort of local, or did you have a sort of a broader?
No. We were just local.
It was just local.
Tiny bakery on the beach, only like for 6 to 8 sittings, very, very small. And now all of a sudden I see my products, people sharing on Instagram, like from Minnesota, California, New York, Chicago. It's amazing. It's incredible.
I mean, that's just fantastic. And I don't think that'll stop once this is over. I think you may have to open another location just for the shipping part, just to bake and do.
Just for production. Now I'm thinking huge. Now I'm thinking, we're going to open a factory.
That is a beautiful thing. I like that. I like the way you're thinking now. I mean, really, it's an interesting side effect of this, right? Yes. That it helped you think more globally, or think in a much bigger way. And because I know what it's like you get in the grind every day of running a business, right? And the dreaming and the thinking part, because it's tough. I mean, that first 2 years is brutal, no matter what it is. And I understand that. And so this is sort of given you the license to sort of think a lot bigger now.
Completely. Yeah. Now it's like the sky is the limit. So I feel so empowered that we can do so much more thanks to the help of people and to the support of those clients that believe and that care also enough about us that they place their orders even though we were not shipping, and they say, listen, we want to help. Here is my order. Even though I know I'm going to wait, here it is. So it's amazing. I'm so humbled and thankful and really grateful for all the things that are happening to us right now.
It's been incredible to watch as I look every couple of hours. I keep seeing all the incredible posts on Instagram. I know, Mark and Mike from the PFS team are actually here with us today, who had been helping Carolina as part of this. But the outpouring is incredible. If you haven't tried them, I will tell you, my personal delivery showed up. They were absolutely incredible, as great delivered as they were in person. And just incredibly honored to be able to help and excited about the future ahead, and happy to have Mike and Mark joining us here as well.
Yeah, and they became family. They are our best friend. They are artisan family. They keep checking up on us that we are doing good, that we are doing. If anything we need, any support, they are there for us.
Hey, Mark and Mike, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Hello. Thank you for having us.
So how does it make you feel to hear Carolina's story? Is this why you did it? Is this why you got involved?
Absolutely. It's heartwarming. And I don't know if you know the backstory to this, but one of the reasons that we were one of the reasons that, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
One of the reasons that we were so passionate about this movement is because in addition to being our CIO for PFS Web, Mark Fuentes is also has a family business that's a small business in our area that provides artisan soap products and all kinds of sort of health and beauty products. And we had been using his business as a bit of a pilot project for a new product that we had brought to market. And the thing that Carolina was going through is exactly the same thing that Mark was going through with his family business. He had to switch from 95% foot traffic generating his sales to 100% local delivery and ship from literally overnight. And so because he had the tools in the toolbox to be able to do that, he was successful. And we heard Carolina's story and saw that it was such a great starting place that she already had a website up and running. She had her product showcase. She's got like 25,000 Instagram followers. So, it's a perfect starting place for us to just come in and add a little bit of help and sort of help get her back on her feet. And what a success story. It's just amazing to be part of it. So thank you, Carolina, for allowing us to be part of your story.
Oh, thank you, guys. You have no idea how thankful I am right now.
Well, I think I'm blown away because I think it's a great testament to what people can really help. Just little things that you can do to help somebody really be successful. So I guess is it Mike?
Yes.
Mike, what inspired you to get involved in Keep Small Strong?
Adam. So I think you probably heard a common theme on your shows that Adam is sort of the glue in this organization. Carolina inspired him, and then he inspired us. And actually, Carolina's story was the first one that we heard because I think it's the test case. Adam, it's his favorite bakery in all of Miami, and he saw that they were struggling and weren't able to provide the yummy treats that everybody's used to having. And so, it inspired him, he inspired us. But like I said before, the starting point for us was inspiring because she had all the pieces there and just needed some technology help and maybe a piece of infrastructure that we've been able to supply, and then they could do the rest. And so we felt like it was such a great starting point. And Mark, I don't know if you want to talk about a little bit about, kind of how your team was able to come in and provide a little technical assistance, kind of help get the Shopify site doing what it needed to do, and then put Retail Connect in place and she's in a position now to ship hundreds of orders a day if she has that kind of demand.
Yep. Yeah, so we were able to go in and the whole team there, Carolina, you guys are doing awesome. But being able to take the pieces, add the just minor changes to help guide the process, and also deploying this equipment, and it really does help just keep control of the entire process. With that much volume coming through, you can easily start having missed shipments and just the efficiencies that we're able to introduce. So. Yeah, it was the perfect match for our technology, and also I guess the willingness to get in there. So in a matter of it was less than a week, we were able to shift that over, and including in our shipment, we had it going in there, uncrating it, getting it out on the floor. So but it's working. It's and now it's scaling it up is the next step.
So a question for you, Mark, and Carolina, how hard is this technology? Because you probably already had things like boxes and things for takeaway orders or to go orders, but now you had to learn how to do packaging, other kinds of packaging, right? And use a new system. How hard was that all to put together and to make it efficient and smoothly, or you still learning how to do it, or what have been the challenges there?
No, right now with the system, with the Retail Connect system, it's really simple. It's absolutely simple, because before we had to go check in Shopify and make sure that we didn't make any mistake, but with Retail Connect now, it simplifies everything to a point that it's just about scanning the product, sorting it out, then scan again. It will tell you exactly what to do, what goes in each one of the orders, so you don't mess up with it. And it prints out the label, and it gives you the fastest and the cheapest way to ship the products, and you're done in a matter of less than a minute. I have everything ready. And
probably takes you longer to tape the box and put the label on.
I think that, I fight more with the gum than with the system itself. So it's really amazing. It's incredible. And something also that is very user friendly. So I don't have to do it personally. Now I can call one of my girls and just give her a short training, and she'll be able to run it and have a job.
So it sounds like it's intuitive. It's real easy to use if you know how to use other sort of computer programs.
It does. No. The system, it also has these lights that will tell you exactly what to do, when to do it. So it's very intuitive. It's very, very simple. It's unbelievable.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys for being on. I'm going to bring on now Peter Jones.
I was just going to real quick mention thanks
Go ahead.
Mike and Mark for joining. Mike actually runs the CEO of the collective PFS Web Group. Mark is the CIO of the PFS division on the back office side. Jim Butler, the GM president of the live area side. 3 companies involved, but what I find most fascinating, I've known Mike and Mark and Jim for the better part of 20 years as competitors, and it's not just the companies involved, it's the individuals. Mike himself, Mark himself are involved in this stuff, and collective folks across the teams. It's just been amazing. Thank you so much for being part of this. It's been incredible.
Thank you, Ed.
Bravo. Yeah, bravo, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Carolina.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, Peter. I see you sneaking a sip of wine.
Yeah, it's all part of the job.
Rough. It's rough. That's
Peter,
somebody has to do it, I suppose.
Yeah, really nice to meet you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Peter's rosé.
This is actually 100% estate-grown Pinot Noir from Dry Stack Vineyard, where we get all of our fruit for all of our labels. And this is our newest label, our newest edition. So we've been really pleasantly surprised with what we've got here, 100% made by winemaker Jesse Katz.
So tell us about your company and what you do and how you got involved with Keep Small Strong when we all sort of got into this new reality that we're in.
Yeah, exactly. So through Adam, I overheard the last part at the tail end of that conversation. Met Adam over a year ago, overlapping in some other work in e-commerce that we've been doing, and have just really built a relationship with him. And when I heard he was launching this, it really spoke to me. I'm from wine country here in California, born and raised, and getting involved in the industry is actually a little bit more complicated than one would think. Very much so controlled by a bunch of old, really large companies. And so being from the area, my older brother and I had a passion for really good wine. We happened to meet a really talented winemaker, and everything just sort of came together. At that point, we decided to partner with him. We started several years ago, produced several labels. Adam Groves also shares a passion for wine, both himself and his family, and we really hit it off over that. And yeah, adapting to this new reality has been really difficult. It's a great challenge, obviously, given everyone like Adam and keeping small strong actually rising to the occasion. So companies like ours and Carolina's, I know we're all deeply appreciative of those efforts because it definitely is a new reality. And for somebody like us, we rely on discovery channels such as restaurants, right? We're carried in some Michelin star restaurants here in Northern California. And obviously those have been shut down for now, and we don't have that opportunity. So we've had to figure out different ways we can find people or really help people find our brand, connect with our label, and then give that direct to consumer opportunity a chance.
How are you doing it? How are you going to pivot, or how have you pivoted?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think a month ago, we did not see this coming on as strongly as it did. We've really pivoted quite quickly, and I think the entire industry has, to virtual tastings. It's been really interesting. Alcohol has been one of the industries that has somehow finding a way to survive in these times because all of us are at home, working most of the day. And then, of course, some of us, might pour a glass a little bit earlier in the afternoon than we used to. But yeah, we've really pivoted to some virtual tastings. We've been co-hosting with some corporate clients that want to put on virtual tastings for their clients. So we're just doing whatever we can to find new discovery channels, and it's really become a partnership effort with people like Adam, keeping small strong, and the rest of our great customer base as well.
Well, I want to get into what a virtual tasting is, but I know Adam had a question.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention. So we've got a ton of businesses who have been reaching out at keepsmallstrong.org who know nothing about digital. I run a storefront. I don't know what e-commerce is. I certainly have never heard of Shopify. Pete actually works, or he and I had met while working at an e-commerce related technology company. He happens to run the Estate Winery with his brother, and I was talking to him the other day. He reached out to learn more about Keep Small Strong to help volunteer. And I said, hey, what's going on with the winery? I know small-run wineries, rely on restaurants and, boutique tasting rooms. And he started telling me about their journey to launch these virtual tours. And I'm like, it's incredible to me that somebody who's so digitally savvy is equally struggling, struggling to get the word out, struggling to change a business model. Yeah. And we're happy to, step up and help Pete and the Estate Wines in general. But it's just a great story. It's, from the most digitally savvy to the least digitally savvy, everybody's gone through this unbelievable disruption in an unheard of amount of time. So
so that's great. I mean, that's a great segue, because what did you need the most help with from Keep Small Strong?
Well, I mean, like Adam said, we just are getting started together, but discovery, right? So helping customers, prospective customers, discover a very small, like, boutique family-owned winery. When we don't have our tasting room or tasting room opportunities, we don't have restaurants anymore. We need help getting the word out, and I think that's something Keeping Small Strong obviously has a team dedicated to, and something we're just getting underway. We're already seeing a little bit more traffic and some purchases, so every little bit counts, right? And we're deeply appreciative of that.
And it seems like, I mean, now I'm guessing a virtual tasting is you ship out bottles of wine to different people, and I'm actually in Brazil, so I'm not going to get to partake in these things, but which makes me a little jealous. But so I mean, you ship out wine, and then you do a call, and you go through and do the tasting. Is there? I mean, that's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yeah, shipping alcohol in general. Unfortunately, we can't ship to Brazil. Otherwise, I would happily ship you some. But yeah, it is definitely quite a bit of work. There's obviously a lot of compliance and licensing hoops you have to jump through. Fortunately, we've got all our ducks in a row when it comes to that. We power our site on Shopify. So getting the virtual tasting very much so is a concerted effort between the prospective customer or these corporate clients we've had. They're collecting, lists of people that are interested. Then they confirm. Then they purchase, and then I'm, tagging my fulfillment team to fulfill and get them out to, anywhere from Northern California all the way to the Northeast, right? And so supply chains have also been affected. So I'm having to buffer 2 to 3 extra days in shipping just to make sure that it's actually going to get there on time, because without the wine to taste, it's kind of hard to actually participate in the virtual tasting. So, and the virtual tasting is probably much like you imagine it. People will order as much of the wines as they would like to go through. And then sometimes it'll just be me, or sometimes I'll have my brother actually walking the vineyard. So he can, show some of our VIP customers exactly what that's like, or where the grapes that were picked from the property exactly came from and went into the bottle that they're drinking. And that's all part of it. Like, wine is a story. And I think more than ever, we're all craving good stories right now. And I think connecting, especially with small businesses, that resonates, of course, with me being a small business owner. But I think everyone is realizing that we're all in this together. So keeping small strong is definitely something that speaks to my heart. And I know all the other small business owners out there as well.
I can't wait to hear more about this story and how it turns out. And that Pinot looks very good.
Sorry to tease you that way.
I'm going to bring Ilya in. Ilya, welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone.
So, Adam, do you want to introduce Ilya and?
Absolutely. So Ilya, another former competitor and longtime friend in the business. He actually runs the technology side of the business over at Astound Commerce, founder, CTO over there, and has been part of the Keep Small Strong initiative, helping some of the tremendous businesses in here, and just excited to have you on board the team. I actually got a call coming out of one of our first broadcasts with Brian Shulman, and Igor, Ilya's partner over at the Astound team, saw us talking about Keep Small Strong, some of the great competitors who were all involved in kind of putting down the boxing gloves to make a difference. Igor and I connected that night. Ilya and I talked about 2 hours later, and then he was literally on the call digging in to start to help the businesses within 3 hours. So it's been a wild story.
Hey, Peter, I had one more question. I'm going to come right back. Peter, I had one more question, and then I wanted to get Ilya's reaction. So what does it feel like to you to have somebody or a group of people like the group from Keep Small Strong just willing to help you, really, and use all their expertise and their energy to help your business grow or survive in some cases? How does that make you feel?
Oh, gosh. I mean, immensely grateful, right? There's some of these guys, Ilya, nice to meet you. They're so talented and they know what they're doing. And I think as small business owners, there's so many different options out there. It's difficult to know which one is right. And, sometimes they can take you down, a wrong decision can take you down a bad path. You end up investing more time, energy, and money than maybe your business has to offer. And so really feel like you have a partner on your side that's looking out for your best interest is invaluable. No matter small or large business, but in particular, a small business like ours, it is a very capital intensive business, and, resources are always going to be constrained. So having partners like like Keep Small Strong community is invaluable. And like I said, we're just so grateful for the opportunity, and look forward to spreading the word and sharing with as many people as possible, because I think this is really important work, and I know everyone would probably feel the same way.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I totally agree. I think small business is going to be changed drastically after this, and I think what you're going through is you're probably going to have, these are probably going to be permanent changes to your business, I would imagine.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. I think we all have to adapt pretty quickly, and that's where having a team, or like a technologist team, right? Guys and gals that have been on the front lines for a long time. Again, it's invaluable. I'm not a technologist in my background, so I haven't built these platforms like Adam has in his past and what he's currently doing. So I know when I go to them for their opinion, like, they're not going to steer me in the wrong direction, and that's invaluable.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. I'm sorry I wanted to ask you that, but how does that make you feel as somebody got involved, to hear Peter talk about it in that way? How does that make you feel that you got involved in this movement?
It makes me feel great, and this is exactly the kind of service that I want to provide, because I started Astound Commerce with two of my friends 20 years ago, and over this period, I've launched hundreds and hundreds of e-commerce sites. So I have a wealth of experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly of launching these sites. And of course, we started with small clients in the beginning, and then we grew to work with large international brands. But at the core, I know that when we were just getting started, what lifted us off the ground was working with small businesses. So it's part of me giving back to the community that helped me be successful over the years, and it's part of me sharing my experience. And going back to some points from before, I know the pros and cons of various approaches, and there is no single right answer how to launch an e-commerce site. You can do it 100 different ways, but having a discussion with a small business owner about what they're trying to accomplish and what's the long-term vision that they're trying to achieve leads you to recommend something that in the long term will be most efficient or most successful for them. So I think that's the value that Keeps Small Strong community brings to these small businesses, is that we have so many years of experience that we can have this consultative kind of approach in helping them moving along in achieving their goals, which the goals completely changed with the advent of the pandemic. And they need to scramble to figure out new ways to survive. I've been helping a few businesses over the past few weeks. One of them is a sole proprietor out of Washington State. She has been selling online via Etsy, but the Etsy fees have become exorbitant for her. So she wanted to launch a Shopify store. So I've been helping her with that, helping her get the data into the system, arranging the layouts of the pages, explaining to her how she would be able to manage the site going forward. Another store that I've been working with is a small store for furniture and accessories out of the New England. And they've never done this before. They don't even know how to start. They're relatively technology savvy, but the whole process of standing up a site, even a relatively simple site, is overwhelming. How do we arrange the data? They've never even had data organized in any kind of logical format like a spreadsheet. So I'm walking her, the owner, step by step. Here's how you put data together so that it can be easily imported into the Shopify store. Another business that I've been in touch with is a restaurant out of San Francisco Bay Area. They need exposure. So we're working as a team to try to find ways to provide that exposure, including the marketplace that Adam built. So there are lots of different little things that we can do for these small businesses, and the value that we add is both the depth and breadth of our experience as well as the relationships that we have.
I was amazed, and Carolina, one of the things that really struck me about that story is, through a conversation with your team, her whole idea of what her business could be changed, right? And I think that's with that kind of team, and Peter was talking about this, with the team that you guys have put together, it's just this breadth of knowledge, right? And like you said, there are 100 different ways you could put together an e-commerce site. You just have to figure out which one is right for the type of business that it is, right? And I think you're helping them discover what that could look like and what that could be, because trying to put together a Shopify site and all this, if you've never done it and you don't have the background in it, I think it's harder than you think it is, and it's harder to do it right. Absolutely. And it's harder to get the results that you're looking for without doing it the right way.
So people in general underestimate the complexities of e-commerce, because the complexities range from the front end, where you build the site, to the shipping, to the back end operations. It's all a complicated loop. And then making sure that people actually come to your site, right? Engaging with social media, attracting clients. So
they're all different skill sets. They're all different skill sets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's been fascinating. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Ilya, for sharing that with us. Any final thoughts? I'm gonna bring in. I think I've got Derek on the line, and then Celeste. But Peter, thank you so much. Any final thoughts?
I just want to say thank you again, guys. Really appreciate it, and thanks for having me on today.
Ilya, do you want to stay on, Ilya? Or do you need to get going?
I'll jump off as well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
You're welcome.
Real quick, Rhett, as we have Derek come in here, just wanted to share a small story. So, hello, Derek. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing
hey,
great.
Derek.
Thanks. So Derek owns and runs a great pizza restaurant here in the Chicago area, Paulie G's. If anybody hasn't been, sort of an amazing cult following. They're recently well known across the country, but here in Chicago, they do these amazing Detroit style pizzas, which are, as far as I'm concerned, the best in the country. But I happened to see, maybe it was about a week ago or so, I was actually at the restaurant the day before it closed, and then I went on Instagram or so and saw that you guys were halting operations, and obviously crushed. But a few days later, I was back on social media, and I saw a post from Derek that the team had actually decided to come in and put together a bunch of food for the local hospital workers working on the front line, and got a bunch of things donated. So I reached out to Derek, and as much as we've been helping a bunch of small businesses get online, equally, we're really excited about small businesses who are doing good in their communities and care as much about supporting their local communities as we do about supporting them. So just wanted to share a little bit of background there. Really appreciate you hopping on, Derek.
Oh, please. Thanks for having me tonight.
Yeah, no, bravo to you and what you're doing in the community there, Derek. I know it can't be easy with, putting together, bringing in your team, paying for the product, but it sounds like you feel like it's going to pay back in dividends. People take care, you take care of the community, they'll take care of you.
Well, so let's be clear. I didn't pay any of my staff. It was strictly a volunteer position. They came in, they had the good heart, and I've always tried to instill in them that, we need to take care of the community as much as possible. I mean, we didn't get to where we are now without the assistance of the community, without the support of the community. And so I feel like, when we have an opportunity to give back, this is a key time to do it. And so a local community hospital, one of our guests actually reached out and really loves our pizza and just asked if we'd be willing to make, 35 pizzas for them, for 35 people there. And so one of my staff members, who's actually quite the breadhead, He's just drilled down the path even more, loves making bread, loves analyzing it. He took this on himself too and said, let me make 35 loaves of bread that these people can take home as well. And so we just wanted to feed them the best we could. And then at some point, the makers of our oven that we use, Pizza Master, as well as Forza Pizza in Chicago, they said, hey, we heard you're doing this. We'd like to help contribute so that you can continue to cover some of your costs. So they contributed $500, which is going to let us do this probably 2 more times for some other hospitals in place. And, it's important. It's important to feed our frontline workers because they're so busy. Many of them don't have the time to really take care of themselves, and they forget to eat. And at the end of the shift, at a 12-hour shift, they're probably starving. So being able to just give them something to look forward to and something to take home or something to eat in the break room, I think is a simple thing that we can do. And, it helps get us out of the house. I don't want to be in the house all the time either, not just like everyone else, but we're doing it to be safe. But if we can get back to some of our normalcy and be able to make some pizza, something that we know we're skilled at, and get back to normalcy, it helps provide, a little bit of like mind break for the rest of us too.
How do you think this is going to change kind of the time that we're in now with the pandemic and the social distancing and all? How do you think that's going to change your business?
I think it's going to change it in a way that we're not even able to fully predict. Like my guess right now is, when we do get reopened, until there's a vaccine in place, there's going to be significant restrictions in terms of how close we can sit to each other. So we're talking about at least a 50% cut in occupancy. So I think most restaurants are going to have to really be able to pivot even more than what they've done now. And just, if they're trying to work the same numbers that they were before, they need to become a takeout and delivery option. And some places have done that really successfully. If you look at places like the Arlena Group folks, they've done an excellent job of going from like a $350 per person set, like prefix menu to like $50 a person. You get a really nice meal now, and they're cranking out like, I want to say almost 200 meals a day, maybe more than that. I mean, they're doing phenomenal. Nick Kokonis and the team are phenomenal from what I've seen. And a lot of places are doing great. I mean, I've talked to some of my pizza brethren that are just built for takeout and delivery, and they're thriving in this environment because this is what they're used to. This is what they're used to doing. But for the rest of us that are more used to a sit-down, dine-in position, I mean, this is the time that, you have to be creative to survive, and you have to adapt. And if you can't adapt and you can't be creative, then it's going to be a very hard journey moving forward for at least the next 6 months, if not a year, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I want so much to ask you what you're going to do, but I don't want you to divulge your secret.
No, please. I mean, there's no secrets. Like I'm always looking at best practices. So the pizza community is a strange one in the business world. I don't know when it happened, but probably in the last 10 to 15 years, the new breed of pizza makers, along with some of the old breed, have been very communicative. So we get together and we actually have very few secrets that we don't share with each other. So if I try pizza that I really like in Las Vegas, generally, they'll share it with me. He's shared my favorite pizza recipe out of Metro Pizza. He's given me the whole 5-day process, step by step. Same for business practices. And so, like I said, the pizza community used to be really tight and competitive, but more and more we've realized if we're super tight knit and we don't share, then none of us improve as a community as a whole. And so, we don't want to take secrets to the grave because the goal is that we continue to grow through each generation. So even business practices, we've been talking a lot, connecting a lot, and just trying to figure out what the next steps are. For me, the big game changer was a system that Nick Kokonis put together called TOCK, TOCK. And really, it was originally built for fine dining. So you get on, you buy your ticket. It's a very set time, set price, et cetera, et cetera. They were able to pare it down so that it became a pickup system where you can control exactly how many orders are coming through per half hour, per 15 minutes, per whatever you're doing. And so that worked out really well for us. When we first tried to make the shift, we had way too many entry points to order pizza. So we had the phone, we had Caviar, Grubhub, we had Walk-In, and we had another one called Ritual. So we had 5 points of entry, and we only had one person or 2 people to manage it, and it was just too much. We were getting flooded. We hit a point on the first night that we tried to do this, we had to turn off all systems within an hour because we were 3 hours backlogged with orders. And so really it's managing your systems and understanding like what are your order entry points and how do you control it, and then making sure on the back end you keep your team tight enough, small enough, and efficient enough that it's making profit for your business as a whole. So it's going to be a challenge. I think that the next big challenge that I've been talking to my managers about, though, moving forward is, now that we are restricting how many people can dine in at the restaurant when it happens again, what are we going to do with all our front of house staff? And so, typically we run a very decent sized front of house staff because we can sit about 170 to 200 people in our restaurant. Now what we're talking about is we may be opening up for lunch so that we have another shift. We may be bringing on some talent so that we have a good breakfast, lunch shift and try to push that so that we can maintain and retain our staff. And the other piece is moving them towards delivery. So we've never managed our own delivery services before. So people on bikes for local delivery, people with cars to do maybe a mile or 2 mile out delivery. So we're really just kind of talking and exploring options to figure out what the best options are so that we can retain as much staff as possible so no one's, put out when this is all over.
Yeah, it might be an opportunity to retrain some people to do some different things, and that might be exciting.
I was just going to mention very quick, I know we've got Celeste who's joining us, one of the volunteers in the Keep Small Strong team, but really appreciate the shout out to Nick and Grant and the Arlena team. I actually just had my duck confit cassoulet from Arlena tonight.
You were lucky enough to get one. That's
but just for context on that one for 2 seconds. So one of the top restaurants in the country, 3 Michelin star restaurant, I believe, super high end, several $100 per person meal that has literally shifted overnight from can't get a reservation 6 months out to doing curbside pickup for $40 per person for an entree at the equivalent of super high end stuff, and the talk system that Nick, one of the co-owners of the Arlena Group, put together for restaurants to make that shift. It is mind-boggling. You couldn't imagine for a restaurant group in that high-end space to move to something like that, and then equally thinking about, well, if I've got to reduce tables in a physical restaurant, how do I now embrace curbside pickup and delivery more? And then these delivery companies right now, not to badmouth anyone, but they're taking way too much of the money out of the hands of the small businesses that need it. Literally just today, there was an article put out in Chicago that they're going to try and pass a law to limit the amount of fees that when Uber Eats and Postmates and Grubhub actually charge. It's killing the small businesses. So appreciate you bringing that up, and appreciate you joining.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Derek, good luck, and hopefully we hear more about how you make that pivot and change, and good luck with that.
I appreciate it. Thank you,
folks. For you. Thank you. Celeste, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me, what inspired you to get involved with Keep Small Strong?
Well, I was doing some work locally. Huge foodie locally here in Eastern PA. And really reaching out to a lot of local businesses to see if I could help them promote their business. And I will give a shout out to you, Rhett, because your post on LinkedIn was what connected me to Adam and the group. So I just raised my hand as a volunteer and connected in with the group. And I think within 24 to 36 hours, I was on a team meeting. So kind of bringing in, while certainly not the technical expertise of these folks, but I do come from the marketing, social media, digital marketing side. So I knew what I was trying to do locally for some of the folks here. And I just said, I was, I grew up in a small business, and I saw what it was doing. We closed pretty early here in Pennsylvania. So we saw, pretty early on what some of the impacts were having. Certainly not as early as, Washington or California, but saw what some of the impacts, and I could see that what we were in for. So I said, what can we do? And this is a great team, and engaged immediately with some amazing businesses. I think you had Joanne and her pet au pair team on this afternoon, and that was kind of one of my first projects. And some of the other folks are just fantastic. And Adam and the team he's pulled together is, I talk to folks every single day who just, can't believe it. And I think one of the hurdles we actually have is folks are a little hesitant to believe that we're here just to help with no strings attached, because folks are like, all right, yeah, where's the catch? So, my significant other is actually one of the Keep Small Strong. His business is in the queue, and from a e-commerce side, the team is helping him as well. So it's just, it is, to the level of professionalism and the skill set that's being brought to keep these businesses alive is just, I'm inspired by it. So
I had visions this morning talking to Joanne. I was her sitting on her chair with her pillow or whatever that was. I could see her as a brand. I could see her as a brand, right? I mean, I just thought, wow, you could really turn her into like this boutique line of like pet products and boutique line of pet clothing. And I just had that was all going through my head. It was actually hard to concentrate. She's
something else. Yeah, my first call with her, I think that I told the team, I said, she has to continue to be on these, on these podcasts because her energy is amazing. And, she's been a successful business person for 18 years. Who expects this? So, yeah.
Yeah, that was well, congratulations. You did really well there because that's I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, she's, brick and mortar, and she was doing an amazing job. And the conversation we had with her is, we wanted to get her up on the CRM. And she says, well, I typically text everybody. I said, well, do you have email addresses? I think so. And we sent her on a task, and she went to go look at applications from her pet sitting business. And within, I think, 10 hours, she had everybody's email addresses in a spreadsheet. So, these are our entrepreneurs. This is, what do we say? That's 49% of our economy in the U.S. Small businesses. This is where everybody works, and we have to make sure they survive, but thrive. So I'm committed to it. Like I said, this is I started working at 8 for my dad's business, so this is near and dear to me. So.
Well, thank you so much
Thanks,
for getting involved, and that's fantastic. What do you think? What were you going to say, Adam?
No, it's obviously, thank you, Celeste, for joining the team. You've been incredible in making a difference. But I remember one piece specifically. I think I was talking to I don't know if it was Rich Lyons from Capgemini or TJ from Pixel Media, or maybe it was even Jim from the broadcast earlier from Live Area. But imagine if we came out of this thing in a couple of weeks from now or months from now, and all that we were left with was chain restaurants and big box retailers. It's certainly not the world I want to live in.
No.
I care way too much about, my local community, my local pizzeria, my local coffee shop, my local furniture store. And it's going to take more than, us as an organization or, the collective help in standing up these businesses, but shopping small, buying local. We have a marketplace on keepsmallstrong.org of businesses that need our collective help. And we've just been really trying to get the word out across America of the importance of saving small businesses.
Well, Adam, Celeste, thank you guys for what you're doing, and the work that you're putting into it is extremely valuable. And I know that I'm going to help you guys continue to push this and try to do what you can, because I think we all have a responsibility to do that, particularly when you're so capable of doing it and you offer something that they need. I think I don't want to wake up and feel like I didn't do my part. So I'm glad you guys are giving me an avenue to do that. So thank you. And I know all the businesses are going to thank you. And thank you for being here with us on the special edition of Power Lunch Live. Keepsmallstrong.org. Go visit the website, see how you can get involved. If you have a technical skill, if you can build a site, if you can build a database, or if you're specialized in marketing and social media, if you have a technical programming background, whatever, I'm sure the collective can use your help. Because the more people we have on that side, the more people we can help on the small business side. And is that accurate to say that?
Absolutely. We could use all the help we can get, both in participating and in referring small businesses. One of the other things is just there are so many small business owners who don't have the time to ask for help. So if you know a business in need, it takes 2 seconds on the website to submit them, and we will reach out and bring all the help that we can. And thank you, Rhett. Your support has been incredible, having us on the show today. the article and Thrive, and all of your support behind this. It's been absolutely amazing. We're honored to have you part of the movement.
Well, I'm a small part, man. Because if you put me behind a computer to do a site, I'd be lost. So I'm doing what I can with my tools that I have. But again, thank you for being here with us. Get involved, keep small strong, help your small community business that you cherish, help them get through this and come out on the other end even stronger. And have a great night. Thank you for being here. We'll be back with you tomorrow with 2 shows on Power Lunch Live, one at 11:30 and one at our regular time. I'm sorry, 11 o'clock, and then one at our regular time at 12. So join us tomorrow on the Power Lunch Live, and you can check out our schedule on powerlunch.live. And I'm going to put up a link to Keep Small Strong so that you can find that from our website as well. And what I would ask you guys to do, if you can put all the businesses that were on tonight, if you can put their website in the LinkedIn feed or on the other feeds, that would be great, so that when people go back and watch this tomorrow or later tonight or whenever they watch it, that they have a direct link to those businesses and can order straight from those businesses. That would be really helpful. And have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rhett.
Thanks so much. Have a great one.